You're standing next to 1,000 pounds of solid, twitching muscle. It can run 40 miles an hour, land a kick with enough force to shatter a human skull in a fraction of a second, and its default instinct when it sees you is pure, unadulterated terror. This is a wild horse. And for over 90% of human history, when our ancestors saw this animal, they didn't think about riding it. They didn't think about pulling a plow. They threw spears at it. Fast forward to today, and this single species has reshaped the borders, languages, warfare, and genetics of our entire planet. Before the steam engine or the automobile, the fastest way to move a military unit, a religious idea, or a plague across a continent was on the back of a horse. Which brings us to one of the greatest paradoxes in evolutionary history. How did we get from hunting a hyperreactive, dangerous prey animal to climbing onto its spine? And why would any sane human tens of thousands of years ago be the first one to try? To understand why domesticating a horse sounds completely crazy, you have to look at how we domesticated dogs first. Wolves are predators. Predators understand pack hierarchy, cooperation, and looking into another animal's eyes to communicate. When humans teamed up with wolves, we were partnering with a fellow hunter who shared our brain chemistry. Horses don't think like predators. Their survival code for tens of millions of years has been governed by 3 strict rules: run, kick, or die. A wolf will hang around your camp to scavenge bones. A horse has zero interest in your food. It eats grass. And on an open steppe, if you walk toward a wild horse, it will spot you long before you get close enough to throw a rope. So why did early humans start trying to close the distance? The answer wasn't about transportation. It was about pure winter survival. Around 3500 BCE, human groups on the Eurasian steppe hit a wall. Harsh winter freezes were killing off traditional livestock like sheep and cattle because those animals couldn't dig through deep ice to find grass underneath. Horses, however, had a biological secret weapon. Heavy hooves evolved specifically to break through thick ice sheets. While sheep starved, horses thrived. For decades, archaeologists argued whether the ancient Botai people were actually controlling horses or just hunting them. Then came 2 massive scientific clues: premolar bit wear and pottery lip analysis. Humans weren't riding horses into war yet. They were keeping them as living, self-sustaining winter pantries. But the turning point that changed human history was buried deep inside equine DNA. For a long time, ancient horse genetics was a total mess. Thousands of years ago, there were dozens of wild horse breeds scattered from Spain to Siberia. But around 2200 BCE, something bizarre happened. A single horse lineage from the North Caucasus region suddenly spread out and completely replaced almost every other wild horse population across Europe and Asia within just a few centuries. Scientists call this lineage DOM2. When geneticist Ludovic Orlando sequenced hundreds of ancient horse genomes, his team pinpointed 2 key gene mutations present in DOM2 that set apart. DOM2 wasn't just another horse. It was an evolutionary anomaly, a horse with a stronger spine for carrying loads and a mutated brain that didn't panic around humans. When steppe warriors paired this newly calm, rideable horse with the invention of the spoke-wheeled chariot, the world shrank overnight. Just like the famous Siberian fox experiment, where foxes bred purely for tameness developed floppy ears and spotted coats, domesticating the horse triggered what scientists call domestication syndrome. Their brains got smaller, specifically the areas managing fear and aggression. Their coats shifted from camouflage dun to spotted, white, and bay patterns. Their natural herd instincts were redirected toward human commands. Look at the numbers. A human on foot travels around 3 miles per hour with a 50-pound pack. A human on a DOM2 horse travels at 20 miles per hour, carries hundreds of pounds, and covers thousands of miles. The horse wasn't just a pet or a farm tool. It was the original high-speed engine of human conquest. Now, for decades, textbooks claimed that Przewalski's horse was the last remaining truly wild horse on Earth, a living relic that had never been tamed by humans. But in 2018, Ancient DNA research delivered a massive shock to paleontology. Genomic sequencing revealed that Przewalski's horses aren't ancient wild survivors at all. They are actually the feral descendants of the early Botai herds that escaped human control thousands of years ago. This means there is not a single truly wild horse left on our planet today. Every horse in existence, from American Mustangs to wild-looking Asian herds, is either fully domesticated or the feral descendant of an ancient human project. Why did ancient humans domesticate horses? It didn't start with dreams of building empires or charging in a battle. It started out of necessity in the freezing snows of an ancient steppe, driven by human ingenuity and equine survival instincts. It worked because our ancestors managed to strike a deal with a creature built for panic. We offered protection and food, and in return, the horse gave us its strength, its speed, and its legs. We took an animal whose entire nature told it to run away from us, and we taught it to carry us forward into the future. In doing so, we didn't just change the horse. We changed the velocity of human history forever.